Megan Briede from Save the Children. She's the Director of Programs there to also weigh in on this story. Megan, it's always great to have you with us. Good afternoon to you. So the moment that we've long been waiting for in this trial, sentencing of the three accused, finally set to take place next week, Tuesday. What are your expectations?
I think in this case, our expectations are that we would love to see a life sentence. There's definitely aggravating factors that support that. First of all, the age of Joshlin. We need to look at the motivation and the intent that her mother had. And very clearly the fact that we still don't know Joshlin's fate and that they've withheld this information.
I mean, looking at the recent developments as well as administrative blunders that we've seen in some really key cases, is also, Megan, pertaining to children. I'm just going to make an example with the Kwekwe matter there, where, of course, police, the NPA, said they couldn't further prosecute or investigate because of lack of evidence. So let's look at this. I mean, how do you foresee the end of this trial? Let's look at how it was actually treated right from the beginning when the child was actually reported missing to right now where we are, where we have to going to be, of course, witnessing the mitigation of sentence of the accused. But as you rightly pointed out, we still don't know the whereabouts of Joshlin.
Absolutely. To be really honest with you, I do feel this case has proceeded very rapidly in comparison to other cases we see. So we have got to a stage where they've been found guilty and we're at sentencing. And we would love to see cases dealt with in the same speed as this particular case. But like I said, I think that why sentencing needs to be at the maximum is Kelly Smith has had the opportunity to share what has happened. Where is Joshlin? And she has chosen not to. And we can only but assume that that is because if it is divulged, it will definitely be another crime and additional sentencing for what has happened.
Megan, let's look at child abduction cases in the country in particular. They are on the rise. And it seems, and I think we spoke about this the last time we had a conversation, it seems that police are actually inundated and don't necessarily know how to go about in ensuring that they address this issue of children going missing, being kidnapped or being killed. What needs to be done? What does government need to do? And also, I'm going to go back to what also is our social responsibility in ensuring child safety?
Yeah, so definitely we do need to resource our police force to deal with this. We cannot have services where police officers are generic providers of protection. We need to make sure that our family, our FCF units are really strong and have the training to be able to collect the evidence in the correct way, take statements appropriately, and therefore represent children more effectively in court. As a country, it is, continues to be alarming. Violence, we've heard it all week in the news. Violence is at our core, which is greatly disturbing. And we need to all invest together on breaking these cycles of violence. So from community level upwards, we need to be open and honest that this is an illness in our country when it comes to violence.
Megan, I'm going to take you back to this morning's release of the latest quarterly crime stats by the Minister of Police there. And noteworthy there was, of course, the fact that GBV cases have actually gone up, while murder cases, those that were reported, were actually have actually subsided. So let's talk about that. I mean, what is needed here? Because I was speaking to an analyst earlier on, a crime expert, in fact, who says that resources are, in fact, there. Police just lack the will to actually implement and go about their duties to ensure that they safeguard this nation. So when it comes to GBV cases, I mean, is there anything more that police can do? Because as I also pointed out in relation to the crime stats, I mean, a lot of women or people are actually not reporting some of these cases due to the fact that they just, well, nobody's going to do anything about it.
Yeah, so you point into a key issue. So even once we have resources, we always have to remember that we're individuals and people have their own biases and beliefs. And it is essential, therefore, that we address those biases and beliefs because those then prevent you from taking a report, such as domestic violence, seriously. If you believe that it is acceptable within a relationship to solve your challenges through violent means, and your job is as a police officer, of course you're not going to respect that. So it becomes essential that we actually look internally and we look at what are the values, the beliefs, the norms within this country that we really need to challenge and shift. And that's where I'm always speaking about our prevention and early intervention programs that are essential in this country, and to start them from our young men and our young women to change their beliefs about violence and relationships and conflict.
Megan, just off the cuff there, what would be an appropriate sentence for the three to, send a strong message to other parents or guardians or even other people that are even thinking about partaking in such crimes that are related to child abduction or murders?
I think our view is that definitely for Kelly Smith, where it is believed that she was the one who orchestrated this affair, I would say we would definitely support a life sentence, but anything short of 15 years would actually be an atrocity.
Megan, thank you so much. We're going to leave it there. As always, we appreciate your input. That is Megan Briede there from Save the Children. She is the Director of Programs there, weighing in as, of course, we look ahead to the sentencing of the three accused in the Joshlin Smith kidnapping case.